Hey guys, what's going on? B-McG here, and today we're here to talk about my rank 4 Chee'Ilth, and she's honestly become my favorite skill champion in the game. For those of you who have been watching my channel for a while, you probably thought that was Night Thrasher, and that's true. He'll always be one of my favorite original characters. Honestly, you can see I've got stuff right here on my shelf for Night Thrasher, but yeah, Chee'Ilth is just so good, and she's so useful, and she's honestly one of the best performing champions on my channel. And then when I went out to Vancouver for the first time and met all my friends for the first time, that's when they introduced Chee'Ilth to the game. So it's just a lot of cool memories with the character, if that makes sense. So you know, there's the sentimental aspect, and then the character's just badass and really good at everything in the game. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun showcase. I've got some cool clips that I've gathered, and yeah, we're just going to be taking Chee'Ilth out, showing you what she can do at rank 4. It doesn't really change too much from rank 3 to rank 4, but she does feel, you know, substantially better in terms of like bleed damage, because those bleeds scale with attack, obviously, and the only way to increase her attack is by ranking her up. She doesn't have any Fury in her kit, so she's not gaining any attack rating increase outside of being ranked up. So yeah, I mean, she will scale with nodes and all of that stuff, but champions who have damage over time are always gonna, you'll feel a substantial bump if you can ramp them up the way Chee'Ilth ramps. So that was Red Hulk down in 1 minute and 10 seconds, 11 seconds. But now we're into some like Battlegrounds emulation style fights. I don't want to call them simulations because it's not like exact 1-to-1, but this is rank 4 Chee'Ilth, and then all of the defenders that I'm going to be showing you are rank 3 and I believe Sig 200. So we're starting off against some science champions. Jessica Jones being the first one. Chee'Ilth is probably the best counter to Jessica Jones in my opinion. She has easy access to cleanse. She always has cleanse active if you're playing her properly, unless there's like way too many debuffs. But she also has the tranquilize, which counters Jessica Jones because you're reducing the ability accuracy of the debuffs that she tries to place when you launch special attacks. And then if that doesn't work, you also have the grit passive on the special one to counter unstoppable. So there's just a lot of stuff in Chee'Ilth's kit that allows her to counter Jessica Jones extremely well. And there we go, that was Jessica Jones down in I believe like 47 seconds. Next up we have Leader, and she is a great counter to Leader because against him you don't want to do light attacks, because light attacks will place the severe debuffs on you, and you can't purify those because they're severe. That's a new thing that's come to the game with the Leader. But that works for Chee'Ilth because you really only want to be doing medium attacks and heavy attacks if you can. And then she also has the Tranquilize on the special too, which reduces the ability accuracy of those severe debuffs, which means that you don't really have to worry too much about them. And we finish this dude off before he even throws a special attack because he's a Gamma champion. Chee'Ilth bleeds, and I think actually most of her effects are more potent against Gamma champions. I think it might just be bleeds. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd pull up Aunt May or Khonshu's Ankh, but those are not updated or not live, so that sucks. But next up we have Atuma. My Chee'Ilth is Sig 200, and at the ability that scales with Sig that she has in her kit, well, she actually is 2, or Sig level is what I'm getting at. Her precisions against bleed immunes become stronger with Sig level. And then her healing against physical damage, bursts of physical damage. I think it's bursts. I don't think it's just effects. It might be effects and I might be wrong, but I've only tested against bursts. So Atuma's Thorns here, and then Killmonger's Reverb that we'll see in a second. She'll regenerate 100% of the damage that she takes. So that's why we are fully topped up. We're actually net healing, if you can notice that. We're at 98%. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher. So if we could trigger the Thorns again without taking any blocked hits, we'll see if we can get back up to like 99 or maybe even you know, 100%. But regardless, she counters the Thorns, so the only damage you're going to be taking is from like blocked hits and if you get hit. So yeah, great counter to Atuma, although she's just a little bit slow for Battlegrounds, but great for anywhere else. Next up we have Killmonger, and you might not think that she's a good counter to Killmonger, but you can punish all of his specials with your heavy attacks, which allows you to pause your bleeds. And then you're constantly inflicting debuffs on him, so he's constantly going to be gaining power, which means he's constantly throwing specials. So you can do what I'm doing here, and just only use heavy attacks, keep punishing this dude, and you're gonna keep pausing those bleeds and inflicting more bleeds, and it's a really fun fight, and you're not taking any thorns damage because of the sig ability, like I said. So it's one of my favorite like random matches that you wouldn't think would work, but it actually does. So yeah, I actually really like this one. I've used it in Battlegrounds, I think once or twice, and then I also used it in War, which we'll see a little bit later. It didn't go as smoothly as this, but it still worked perfectly fine. But now a little segue as we get into the next fight. I am working my way to 10,000 subscribers, and I want to hit that because it's just a cool little milestone. You hit, 5 digits. It would be cool. So in order to do that and incentivize people to subscribe, because believe it or not, I think it's like 80% of you guys who watch my content are not subscribed. So again, if you enjoy the content and you want to see more of it, subscribing is the best way to do so. But once I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway. I don't have details on what I'm doing yet because currently we're just under 9,300 subscribers. So we're a bit a ways away, and I don't want to finalize any details yet on the giveaway because something could sprout up, and then it'd be a good time in game to actually say, all right, that's what we're going to give away. But yeah, that's what we're going to do, and share it with your friends, let them know, and we can get that going. But if you enjoy the content at all, just hit the like button at least. It would help me out, gets more people seeing the content. But yeah, Red Skull was the fight before. She's perfectly fine for that fight. Really good fight because she's really only using heavy attacks, and you can punish his specials super easily. And if he throws a special 2, you have the grit on the special 1. But next up we have Absorbing Man. And if this dude was a 7-star rank 3, she would be one of my favorite counters to this guy. So the only thing that makes this fight weird is that if he throws his special 1, he'll go bleed immune, and you won't be able to keep those bleeds up, and then you'd have to get him out of the Uru form again. But he is a Gamma champion, for those who don't know, so your bleeds are that much more potent, and you're allowed to just nuke this dude the way I did. So you wouldn't think to use a bleed champion against Absorbing Man, but it worked perfectly fine there. And then next up we've got Maestro. So Maestro, she's not great for, but the first few bleeds that you're able to get up, these are boosted by him being a Gamma champion. So you can get 10 of these up, and then you have to be really aggressive about getting that heavy attack because the glancing will prevent you from putting on more of those debuffs. The special 1 allows you to put some more bleeds on there so you can get a couple more. But you really want to be careful about launching specials here because that will reduce the amount of time that you can pause your bleeds that you have active. So we're getting really close there. We really don't want this dude throwing another special 1. We want him coming at us and using, there we go. You got the heavy attack, and then we use the special 1. And then Deep Wounds is going to help us finish this dude out. So yeah, she's a decent counter to Maestro. She's not like going to solve it, but if you're in a pinch, you can use her for Maestro. And then I think we're going to finish the Battlegrounds-style content with Nova here. She is phenomenal for Nova, but this requires just a little bit more spacing knowledge because the special 1's a bit tighter of a punish, but you get the dex there, dash in, block it, and then punish with the heavy attack, and you get the pause, which is huge. You always want to try to get that pause, especially in short form content, because the bleeds just really ramp up. You can see, just look at the health bar if you want to see what I'm talking about, because once we get this last heavy here, you can see that he's just ticking down and he's just going to fall over during the special. So yeah, you really want to maximize that punish. You don't really need to do it in Alliance War that much unless your strategy for the fight solely relies on it, which is pretty much going to be all these fights that I'm doing here. So yeah, this is Chee'Ilth on the new map. I have content of her on the old map, but I wanted to see how she fares in, the new map. And spoiler alert, she's phenomenal like she was before. She has, on-demand cleanse, which is huge for a lot of nodes. She can take hazard shift if you need to. But we've got the cleanse here. This node is calcify, so whenever he launches a special attack, he will inflict us with a bunch of petrify. But because we have the cleanse, we got rid of all those, and we don't have to deal with the reverse controls because of that. So now we could drop the special 2 here. The Tranquilize will reduce the ability accuracy of those petrifies, if Sasquatch were to throw a special attack, but he's not going to throw one because we're just going to finish with a 5-hit combo and he's done. So that was, I think, a 500,000 health pool opponent down in 50-something seconds, which is phenomenal. It's great damage output. I mean, Sasquatch is a Gamma champion, so she works very good for him. Next up, we've got this Killmonger here. This node requires you to intercept, or else they'll inflict you with a suppression. But she has cleanse, like I said, so she's just going to purify that suppression. But if you don't do, I think it's 15 hits in 18 seconds, you'll be inflicted with an unsteady debuff, but it's severe, so you won't be able to purify it. You can reduce the ability accuracy of it, but it's you know, we are going to be inflicted with it here because the game plan here is to be launching our heavy attacks to get the pause. So we are able to pause through glancing, but we're not able to put on more of the bleed debuffs, which is honestly a blessing in disguise here because it allowed us to get that special 2 off and not really have to deal with a bunch of specials. Because if we, you know, if we didn't have the unsteady on us, we would have only been able to do light attacks, and we were getting cornered, which is the only really downside of using Chee'Ilth against Killmonger, is that you can get cornered if he's being stingy, and this Killmonger was being very stingy with his special attacks. But we're gonna get this heavy in here, get those bleeds, and then yeah, we just need this dude to throw one more special 2, and of course he's not doing it, which is fine because we could just do a 5-hit combo. Oh, he threw it. There's one fight where I full send it. I think it's a little bit later. I think it's arcade, but yeah, I mean, that went fine. It was a little bit sketchy. You can invuln to make it safer, and then if you have your cleanse active, you'll purify the bleeds that he tries to place on you from the special 3, so you'd be fine. Yeah, next up we're going up path 1 in section 2, and we're taking a Tuma. So we're taking 2 fights that generally you'd send mutant champions to, but she works perfect for them, which is it's really cool for Alliance War because I was able to take 4 path fights. Normally you'd want to send like different options to some of them. You could send probably the same option to Atuma and Killmonger, but Arcade and Sasquatch are going to require different counters. That's 3 champions, and Chee'Ilth was able to do all 4 fights by herself, which is huge for planning. So yeah, she's great for Atuma here. Like I said, his specials and heavy attacks are very easy to punish, and you have the Grizzly's Grit on the special 1, which allows you to counter Unstoppable, because eventually if you're playing against Atuma and he gets enough hydration, you will cause him to go unstoppable, and you know, obviously that's not ideal. Right there we ate a little bit of a combo, but like I said, the SIG allows us to heal bursts of physical damage, so if he were to combo us, we would be healing the damage that we would be taking. So the only thing that would stick would be the basic hit damage, which is fine because it wouldn't have done too much. But yeah, we're just gonna finish this fight off. Atuma has some pretty high bleed resistance, so the bleeds aren't really doing too much here, so you're mainly just relying on constant, you know, basic attack damage. And this Atuma is going to be done with this last of the special 1. So fun fight. I love that one. And then this arcade shows you the reach of the you know, the pausing of the bleeds with the heavy attack. His heavy attack is very easy to punish with yours. You just bait it, and then he does his little, there we go, he swings with his club, and then you know, just punish with yours. And that's the game plan here. Minimize dex triggers so buffet doesn't trigger, and just, you know, block bait heavies and then punish with yours, and then block bait heavies, punish with yours, and the bleed damage just gets very high, and it's phenomenal. This dude's not going to throw a special attack, and that's where his main threats are, because he has to launch his special attacks in order to get his arcade tokens, which allow him to auto block. But if he's not going to throw a special attack, he's not going to do any of that stuff. So we just got to be a little slower to make sure he doesn't get to his special 3. But what we're going to do here is heavy to get that pause, striker to get an opening, and then just special 2, and we're good. So I kind of full sent it there because I knew I'd be able to finish, but yeah, can't complain about that. That was a really solid fight, and she was really good for those Alliance War fights. I can't wait to keep using her on this new map and see what else she can do. But next up we have Spider-Man 2099 in Necropolis, and I took her into this fight, I think with the same team before, and this was when she was at rank 3, and it was just under 4 minutes to get this fight down, I believe. You guys could probably fact check me if you really want to go back to that video. It's not a huge deal, but this fight I think might genuinely surprise some of you guys because the damage is just so good after the special 3. It's honestly nuts, and you guys are probably gonna be blown away at it. I know some of you guys might have seen my YouTube short where she was a rank 3, and then I also just posted one where she's rank 4 doing this, and it's actually this clip. So if you watched that short and click the related video and that's how you got to this, thank you for clicking that. I don't know how impactful that is on, you know, my video's reach, but it'd be interesting to hear if any of you guys, you know, came from the short. So yeah, but this fight is pretty much over with now. We have the vicious passive from the special 3, and we have 29 bleeds. This fight is gonna be wrapped up pretty quickly here. I think there's roughly only a minute left, and yeah, we're just gonna keep stacking these bleeds, punishing his specials with our heavy, and this damage is just going to go insane. So he's already ticking down about 1% per second at this time, and it's going to speed up quite a bit. We just got to keep getting these bleeds going. And when you're doing these fights, you don't have to use special attacks. I actually advise against it, unless you actively need the utility that comes with the special attack. So Spider-Man here, he does not go unstoppable, right? So no need for the special 1. He's not placing debuffs on us that our cleanse can't handle. That's a big factor. If our cleanse can handle the debuffs, don't throw the special 2, because the specials take up too much time on your bleed pause, and it makes it way too hard to do what you are doing here, where this dude just starts melting and you get 56 stacks of bleeds. Guys, like, this is nuts. So I will show you guys a fight right after this one in Necropolis where you do need the utility off the special 2, and it's not much slower. But that was 8 million health in Necropolis down in 2 minutes and 27 seconds, and 95% of our damage came from bleeds. Phenomenal. It's just so good. And next up we've got Tigra. So she triggers miss often with the node that comes here. Her primal sense, I think, whatever it is, she's triggering miss often. So that's one factor. She's also going to be inflicting us with ruptures. So that is another factor that we need to pay attention to. You guys might actually notice that she'll cause miss, like, see, she did it right there. Not a huge deal, because once we get the special 2 off, we'll be countering 2 of the main issues that come with this, which are the rupture debuffs and the miss that she has. Tranquilize, while it's active, Chee'Ilth cannot miss, which is just amazing utility. So we're going to punish here, drop the special 2, get that Tranquilize up. We're good now. Now we can work our way to our special 3, because every time she tries to trigger one of those rupture debuffs on us, it's not going to do anything, and the Tranquilize pauses for I can't remember how many seconds whenever you utilize its utility, basically. So like, if you cause an attack to miss, I believe it pauses. If you cause the debuff to fail, it'll also pause, and it's just gonna allow us to get to our special 3 and not have to worry about the miss here. So Tigra's animations also are very easy to play into with Chee'Ilth. The heavy attack has 2 swipes, and then the pause you can hit during the pause. The special 1 you can easily punish with your heavy attack. I believe you can also do it to the special 2. Let's see if we can get it here. I think we do. No. I thought we didn't get it. I didn't practice the timing. This was all just like, let's go into the fight and see if we can get it done. But we're able to get the pause there. So really not that big of a deal. We only lost like 3 bleeds. And now we're just going to keep cooking. So we got to get back to our special 2, because that Tranquilize is close to falling off. But we want to get it back up. So we will only throw 1 more special 2. And that's just, it's a really good way of showing how strong that Tranquilize is, because it's a 50% potency for debuff ability accuracy reduction. but you also counter miss just outright with it, which is huge. So it's not the most reliable for debuffs, but you'll have the cleanse as backup, remember? So it makes her functionally debuff immune in certain fights, which is just nuts. But there we go, special 2, tranquilize backup at full duration, and now we can just finish this fight out. In Necropolis, you typically want to throw your strikers, right? Because you're going to get extra time for the fight. But with Chee'Ilth, you actually don't want to use the striker because, like the special attacks, it's actively hurting your chance to, pause the bleeds with your heavy attack. So I opt to pretty much never use the striker unless I need the opening. And it allows you to do what I'm doing here. We have the tranquilize, it's still 2/3 left, and there's 27% health left. Health is melting down, and also when you get rooted, you're closer to the opponent after they finish their special attack. So guess what? You can punish their specials with your heavies that much easier. It plays into her kit perfectly, and once you launch that special 3, you can never launch it again. So if you do need that specialty utility again, you can drop it. But there we go, we had 55 bleeds at the end of the fight, and let's see what the time duration for this fight was. We got this one down in 3 minutes and 21 seconds. I think I got this down with my rank 3 before in like 5-ish minutes. So again, a huge jump for a rank 4. And then we're gonna finish off the story with some good, or not the story, finish off the video with some good old story quests. I love story content. I think it's fun to use different characters when you go through it. And it's also just a fun way to showcase how characters, kits, and nodes play into your attacker's abilities. So this node set here, if the opponent is not bleeding, they'll go unstoppable. Chee'Ilth is great because she has bleeds, but she also can counter the unstoppable if they were to get it. And then there's also a protection. If the opponent is bleeding and you launch a striker, you will remove that protection. So when you're playing Chee'Ilth properly, the opponent will always be bleeding. That's just a given. Death, taxes, and the opponent bleeding while playing Chee'Ilth. So you don't have to really worry about the protection stacks stacking up. And I-Hulk Gamma champion, so our bleeds are more potent. And I-Hulk, the primary way to counter this guy is direct damage, especially over time, because that will allow him to not be able to store the damage that he takes as Gamma, which he would then use to go immortal. But look at that heavy reach, man. That was just nuts. And there we go. Falls over. Not much going on for I-Hulk there, but let's see what we got going on for these next fights. We've got White Tiger, same node set. Just to show you guys the versatility with how you can punish the special attacks and heavy attacks with hers. White Tiger's heavy attack is very similar to Tigra's in terms of timing for the heavy punish. There's 2 rapid hits and then there's one last one. Tigra has the 2 and then the 2, but it's very close here because you'll see she's going to do the 1, 2, and then we just punish and interrupt with our heavy there. And that's just going to allow us to stack these bleed debuffs up. So I want to get one more heavy punish in so I don't lose all these bleeds, but we're getting close. There we go. Got the heavy, got the pause. We're going to have to get the striker going so we can get rid of those protection passives, but it won't take too long to get that going. So I think right after the special 2, I think is when we do it, because we want her to throw it. You can easily punish her special 2 with your heavy attack. There we go. I think I actually forgot about the protection in this because I was like, why isn't she dying? And it's because it's because the protection. It is what it is. I think do I ever throw the striker? I mean, I'll have to once there's 5 because we won't be doing any damage. Yeah, there we go. I spaced out and forgot. I was like, why are we doing no damage? I was just in the loop of like just punishing the heavy attacks and specials. It was just such a fun loop that I forgot to do it. And there we go. We're just gonna 5-hit combo and she's done. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I make stupid mistakes sometimes, but next up we've got Negative here. So another science champion, but he's not Gamma, so we don't have to worry about, or don't have to worry. It's more of an accurate representation of her bleed damage against, just normal science champions. And we're not boosted here. I think we do have some synergies. You guys probably saw them at the beginning of the quest. Not the biggest deal. Negatives heavy is very easy to punish with yours, like I've been showing you. And let's see what we can do against this special 2. We gotta bait it. There we go. We got one last heavy before the special 2. He drops it. Yeah, we blocked the last hit and then going for the heavy, but we're a little too late on the heavy, so we didn't really get the pause that we wanted, but we'll just go for a special 2 and he's done. So we have one final quest, and that is going to be, I think it's in Act 9.2, the latest Act content that came out as of this video. And this path starts with Red Guardian. Basically, they're permanently unblockable. Where's it at? Riot, that's the node. Permanently unblockable. When you knock them down with a special attack, they go unstoppable. And then there's an Eradicate node. These Scourge passives that they get, or Scourge charges, they go away when you punish, I think, a special with a heavy attack, and you Eradicate them, deal a bunch of damage. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. And they just melt, and like that's the name of the game with Chee'Ilth. She's always wanting to punish the opponent's special attacks and heavies with her own. So you're never gonna let these Scourge charges ramp up, and you'll always just be getting rid of them once you get rid of them. And she just works great for these. It's another Red Guardian fight, so the bleed damage, or not another Red Guardian fight, another non-Gamma Science Champion fight. So it's more, the bleed damage is more representative of how she actually is. And you know, we do have that Scourge coming in and helping us, you know, deal quite a bit more damage, but that's just how story content is. There is a lot of additional damage in certain areas, but at least you guys know when the Eradicate happens and you guys can see the health bar move. But next up, we've got Iron Fist. I almost call him Iron Fart because that's that's been a running joke in our alliance lately, but for a different champion. But yeah, Iron Fist. He has a very easy special attack to punish. I think both of them are decently easy to punish. Special one in particular is just so easy. And he doesn't have any crazy like block unblockable or heavy attack abilities like Red Guardian did, so we can just spam heavy attacks once he's cornered and be completely fine. We just got to get this dude to throw another special attack. Let's see if we can get him. 1, 2, 3, and there's the synergy coming into play. If you're struck while charging a heavy attack, you go passively unstoppable. Really good for if you want to practice learning how to do what I'm doing here. Bring that synergy along and you should be good to go if you mess up. It won't really hurt too much. And this fight pretty much over with once we drop that last heavy, and there we go. So we're gonna finish against Gamora here. So I'm gonna turn to you guys and start wrapping up this video. So like I said earlier, we're going for 10,000 subscribers. It's a milestone that I want to hit, not that it's a huge deal for a lot of you guys, but it's something that I want to hit personally. And you know, to celebrate it, I will be doing a giveaway, so be subscribed for that. Like I said, 80% of you guys who do watch these videos, you're most likely not subscribed based on what YouTube's telling me. So if you guys enjoy it and want to see more, subscribing will pretty much put it on your homepage a little bit more, and it'll also put it in your subscription tab guaranteed. And then if you enjoyed, hit the like button. It helps get the video out to everybody else. And that's gonna be it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I have more rank 4 content coming soon. I've made quite a few rank ups and I'm excited to show them all to you. I will see you guys for the next video or stream. Peace out.